One thing that every songwriter can tell you is there's usually a story behind the song they've written. Keep 'em Flyin', Boys is no different. There is a story. And where we're headed today is to where my music video was shot not too long ago, to Trimble, Tennessee. The story behind Keep 'em Flyin', Boys goes back many years. It goes back to the early 2000s when I met a gentleman by the name of Bill Foster. Bill Foster didn't live too far from Trimble, Tennessee. He'd had his eyes on this particular piece of property for a long time. Bill had been working with me in Heritage Keepers of America, a nonprofit 501c3 organization that I put together to work with the school system so I could teach American history, and that's where I mixed entertainment and education together, and I came up with edutainment. So he was working with me with Heritage Keepers, and one day after I done a school presentation, he said, "I want to drive you out to Trimble, Tennessee, show you the property." And what was really neat, it was just a big hill in the middle of a bean field. Didn't look like much at the time. It was next to a local cemetery. The piece of property had some story behind it. It was some of the original settlers. There was a log cabin here many years ago. But Hamilton Parks was a lifetime member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, the SCV, and he happened to own the property at the present day. And Bill said, "I've been talking to Mr. Hamilton about possibly donating this property or preserving this property so we could put a memorial there." And he says, "I want to put a big flag there." And that was Bill's vision. He pointed where he wanted to have that flag in a little kiosk or a memorial or something put up there, a gazebo or something sitting on the hill with the flag. He said a 40-foot flag. That's what he kept saying. "I want a 40-foot flag there. I want a big flag." He said, "There's an interstate coming through here, I think I-69 or something like that." And he said, "I want it next to that location." Well, there is a 4-lane here now. So part of Bill's vision did come true. And Mr. Parks, he decided to work with the local SCV, which he was a part of. And they began to build this park, the Cemetery Ridge Park. And before long, I'd say within 3 or 4 years, we had a memorial service, or actually a dedication service, memorial service. And the dedication service was to unveil, to raise the flag for the first time. So I was here when the first flag was raised up the pole. And they've added so much since then. They've added all the grand flags of the southern states and an artillery piece. And it's truly a memorial for the Confederate soldier. So I couldn't think of a better place when I shot the music video for Keep 'em Flyin', Boys. I couldn't think of a better place to do it than right here. So I could pay honor to my friend, Bill Foster, who's no longer with us. He is now gone, as well as Hamilton Parks and his wife, and those that have dedicated this parcel of land to preserve the memory of Confederate soldiers. So on this day, if you get a chance to listen to Keep 'em Flyin', Boys, that song would have never been written had it not been for Bill Foster having in his heart to preserve American history. That was something Bill was emphatic about. He wanted to preserve American history, and especially Southern history, which had been, it's being erased constantly today, but even then, when we first started talking about it, we could see signs of people wanting to do away with Southern history, far more than today in the year 2022. So once again, when you listen to Keep 'em Flyin', Boys, that is the story behind the song. I wrote the song after we dedicated this property, and I wanted to let people know that we got to keep them flying. Those colors must stay flying so we can know what our forefathers, what they died for. I had forefathers that fought in the Revolutionary War. I had those that fought in World War I, World War II. So I've had ancestors, grandparents, my father in the Korean War. I've had veterans all in my family. So when I pay honor to them, I don't want to shortchange those in my family that fought for the Confederacy. I want to pay honor to all those who fought for their country or fought for what they believed in. So when you hear Keep 'em Flying, boys, it's about patriotism. Because most of us, we love the Stars and Stripes about as much as we love the Stars and Bars and the battle flag and the flags of the South. Yes, there's some things we disagree with when it comes to the Stars and Stripes. But my father, he wore a uniform and he wanted to fight under that flag. So I have to pay honor to that flag just for my ancestors, if nothing more than just for my ancestors' sake. But that's also the reason. For my ancestors' sake, I pay honor to them. They fought under that flag. That's the story behind Keep 'em Flying, boys. Keep playing that song too. The truth has to be told.
A massive Confederate flag flying high above a local interstate. The Sons of Confederate Veterans raised this large flag earlier today as the Confederate flag is once again in the spotlight.
NASCAR already banning it at all races, and tonight our Dave Fairley's.
Keep on flying, boys. The flags of our fathers keep on flying, boys. They're flags like no others. Thousands died in the shadow, so we must not destroy the flags of our fathers. Keep on flying, boys. In honor of Dixie, great-granddad marched off to war. And deep in his heart, he knew what he was fighting for. But there are those among us who want to take those colors down from where the valiant have fallen, from what is now sacred ground. Keep on flying, boys. The flags of our fathers keep on flying, boys. They're flags like no others. Thousands died in their shadow, so we must not destroy the flags of our fathers. Keep on flying, boys. I saw it in the paper, they call it a flag of hate. They don't want our colors flying o'er the fallen's grave. We must draw a battle line, Lord, the truth must be told. It's time, sons and daughters, to stand and be bold. Keep on flying, boys. The flags of our fathers keep on flying, boys. They're flags like no others. Thousands died in their shadow, so we must not destroy flags of our fathers. Keep on flying, boys. We must stand today, tomorrow is too late. Liberty will go away, 'cause tyranny is at the gate. Keep on flying, boys. The flags of our fathers keep on flying, boys. They're flags like no others. Thousands died in their shadow, so we must not destroy the flags of our fathers. Keep on flying, boys. Thousands died in their shadow, so we must not destroy the flags of a father. Keep on flying, boys.
New tonight, the court says Alpharetta can ban the Confederate flag in the Old Soldiers' Day parade. The case started in 2019 when the city said the Sons of Confederate Veterans could participate in the parade but couldn't use the Confederate flag. Two members sued, saying Alpharetta violated the group's constitutional right to free speech. Today, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a lower court's ruling favoring the district.